Hello again, thanks for joining us now. First tonight, the tragic death of a newly licensed driver south of Perth has prompted calls for training to include more experience on unsealed roads. While the investigation into the crash is ongoing, some driving instructors believe we need to do more to better equip teenagers behind the wheel. Mark Gibson has more.
Flowers are laid where 17-year-old Kimberly Berente lost her life south of Mandurah. On the other side of the country, a grieving father who knows exactly what Kimberly's family and friends are going through.
It's heartbreaking. The words can't explain it.
Mark Dixon's 17-year-old daughter Jade was killed earlier this year, the passenger in a car which crashed on a wet road.
Driver lost control of the vehicle and flipped the car into a tree, and Jade passed away an hour later.
Mark says we're failing our kids by not teaching defensive driver training in high schools.
So many kids that I know get taught different languages, they never use it ever again. So why aren't we teaching the kids driver education in schools?
Perth driving instructor Dirk Zarb cousin agrees.
Any extra experience of driving is definitely going to benefit the student in the long run.
Dirk's father, who was also a driving teacher, died in a crash hit by one of his former students, a P-plater who was speeding.
What they're doing is they're driving a lethal weapon, and if they're not being responsible or being a little bit immature, the consequences can be fatal, just like what happened to my dad.
In honour of their dad, Dirk and his sister Rebekah reopened his old driving school, teaching teenagers life-saving skills.
I feel like my goal or my purpose, my direction is to help young students reach their full potential.
Kimberly Berente got her driver's licence yesterday morning. Within hours, she was dead, losing control and rolling her vehicle on an unsealed road. Wearing a seatbelt, not speeding, police say she was simply inexperienced.
I think they're not educated enough to know the rights and wrongs about the conditions of the road.
To get your licence in WA, you have to complete 50 hours of supervised driving, including 5 hours at night before doing the test. But there's no requirement for off-road or country driving, even driving on a freeway.
During the 50 hours, they might not experience all those different scenarios, which later on down the track could be quite lethal.
While not laying any blame in this latest tragedy, Mark Dixon says the first year of driving continues to be the most dangerous.
So how do we get through to these young P-plate drivers that, because they're all bulletproof, they're all gung-ho, they get their Ps, they get given the keys to a loaded missile and off they go.
Well, it's a lifelong skill, and these teenagers, these kids, they're going to be using these skills for the rest of their life.
And a reminder that double demerit points apply from midnight tomorrow until January 6. Redevelopment in Fremantle city centre has put pressure on car parking. Some business